My name is Dan Ram, and I have done a pretty decent job of ignoring you for most of the day, which is now why we're going to do an online exclusive. In fact, we don't really have, well, we have a couple people in the live audience. Yay! You can hear them. They're here and they're wild. But we really want to involve you in this conversation. So please, on your screen, I believe you can see a QR code. If you would scan that code, that will take you to Slido. And on Slido, you can ask some questions. I can see already that Inar has asked a question here, so that's fantastic. So if you can go and scan that code, and I would love to make this interactive. I've got 3 amazing human beings here, 2 representing one who's collaborated successfully with Siemens, and we're going to dig into the whole corporate, startup, interaction, collaboration, and the power of that. So first up, quick introductions. If you tell us your name, your title, and your favorite season of the year.
My name is Sebastian Dreßen. I'm R&D strategy manager in the technology division at Siemens, so really connected, trying to look out for research topics, and the most my favorite season is the summer season. So
summer.
Going swimming, going out,
yeah,
and hiking and so on, and doing that stuff.
I'm not so into the hiking, but I'm all about going out and being by the water. So yes,
yeah.
Summer. Okay, Audrey.
All right. My name's Audrey Villarreal. I run our Xcelerator for Startups program that we just announced earlier this year. My favorite season would have to be fall. It's hard to beat the nice weather, the leaves, you know, apple orchards, donuts. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And you.
Yeah, I'm Moritz, co-founder and managing director of ELISE, a startup. We are partnering with Siemens, and yeah, my favorite time of the year is also, I'll go with Audrey, is fall, because then the winds are strong enough to go kartboarding.
Nice.
Yes.
I asked that question because my mother is watching from India and she loves fall. And we don't really have fall in India, so there we go. Excellent. So let's jump into this conversation. Why is Siemens at stage 2?
Should I start?
Yeah, go for it.
I think, first of all, of course, the entire setting here, that networking, getting together with all these universities, entrepreneurs, seeing all that innovative startup solutions, and that's also why we are at stage 2, really supporting that kind of entrepreneurship centers, which are very important for the innovative strengths of Europe. And I think it's an amazing event, really, to bring all these different universities and brilliant startups at one place and compete against each other, and really have a physical event, of course. That's also one part why I'm very happy to be here. And yeah, that's the reason why we are also supporting it and want to make it a big thing.
Excellent.
I would say, first of all, we believe in startups. We believe that they are the future, and we want to do our part in supporting startups. So this is a great event. So we've had the opportunity to see some of the pitches that have happened that have been very good.
Yes.
So I've only been at Siemens just under 2 years, so this is actually my first time to meet several of my coworkers in person.
Wow.
First time to meet some of our startup partners in person. So yeah, it's pretty great so far.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, I have to say thank you for the invitation, for being able to be here. As a startup, it's an honor for us to be on the same stage with Siemens. So as we are like incorporating Siemens technology, I guess, on the one hand, I would like to network today here, and I've already found some interesting talks and partners. But on the other hand, it's also maybe that we can tell all other startups, or startups that are interested at least, how the relationship with Siemens is, what we're doing actually, and what works good, and also maybe what works not that good. Yeah.
Absolutely. And we're going to dig into some of that, right? Because I'm a firm believer in an ecosystem play. I think collaboration is the way forward. We need the policymakers to do what is right to make for a warm environment for entrepreneurs to flourish. We need the corporates that have access to the big research and the R&D and the tools to be able to pioneer in the way they do. We need the startups that will challenge the status quo and sit in the little co-working spaces and build things and grow. We need the educators. I mean, after all, this is a college-based competition, and so everybody has to do their part. Let's talk a little bit about Siemens and why work with startups when you've got all the money in the world to just innovate on your own internally. So why collaborate with startups?
I can start. I think you already mentioned it. So it's the ecosystem which really brings and boosts the innovation. And also the challenges of these times today, and also the technologies which we need to develop to tackle these challenges, we cannot do it alone. And I think that's really key, to be open, to collaborate, do open innovation, and support also talents and startups to build their solution. And of course, we as Siemens, we have a powerful market entry, also we are powerful in the market. We have a long history of development and so on. But we also need to adapt, and we have to change also our perspective, our culture internally, also to be more agile. And that's also what we can learn from startups and from the ecosystem, when we get new insights, new inspirations from startups. And we can only do it together and tackle the challenges of today together, and that's why it's very important to collaborate also with startups in different ways. So in mentorships, in providing software solutions, or also, of course, the investment part.
Okay, so you've answered the question of why. I'd love, Audrey, if you can answer the question of what. So what exactly is Siemens doing with startups?
Oh, that's a great question. So specifically with our software division, we are offering all sorts of solutions. So whether you're a product designer, so if you're building a bicycle, for example, we've got software for you. If you're a software developer, we've got solutions for you, whether that's for you to build upon our solutions. And then also, we have opportunities for technology collaboration, so a little bit about what Sebastian was talking about. So we have wrapped this all up under our Xcelerator for Startups program. So very, very exciting. We have startups all across the globe that we're partnering with, and some that are really, really making a difference.
Nice. Moritz, I've got to ask for the inside perspective and experience. So while Siemens has pitched strongly as to why and what they do, we want to know exactly how did it go and what was good and what was bad. While you think about that answer, to the online audience watching right now, I'm not texting people. I'm looking for your comments. We don't have a better system for it, so it's on my phone. That's you. You're on my phone now, and I can see that a bunch of you have already put some questions in. So again, please find that QR code. It'll take you to Slido, and on there you find the particular part that says Stage 2 Siemens. And in there you got to put the Q&A. Obviously we've broken it down to the different Q&A opportunities, and not the polls option, but the Q&A. Put a question there. Would love to answer some of your questions that are coming in. And we've already got some here already, which is great. So keep them coming. And now, Moritz, give us the down and dirty. Has it been easy? Has it been challenging? What's worked and what has not?
Yeah, it's a really great question, also an interesting question. I would say it's like a journey, like usually if you're going into a partnership, and maybe before I answer what is good and bad, let me explain what we are doing. It's like a low-code engineering platform that we are developing. So more or less we are training or empowering engineers to learn software development. And of course, this is a huge challenge because they don't know how to code. And one of the main challenges is that our customers and our clients also want to have a nice computational craft where they can do CAD drawings. And of course, this technology is a huge thing. And we were never able to develop it on our own. So we had to partner, and we've chosen, we had to choose for the best one, and we challenged also like other software vendors, like Dassault, for example. And in the end, I'm sitting here on stage with Siemens because I can say that's one of the best technologies that we were able to implement and to partner with. And so far, it went really great. So, of course, it has technical challenges as we are doing something completely new, which also the Siemens guys on the Parasolid world are not able yet to do. So we are challenging the status quo. And I guess this is also what you mentioned, Sebastian, that we are bringing in. We're challenging your technology. And I guess if we are partnering and a startup challenges and a big company like Siemens brings in a huge mindset and also like consultancy and everything. So far, it has been a really great journey, I would say.
Great. So you've sort of answered one of the questions that came in, which is how did Siemens help ELISE? The question that some people are asking, because there are other startups like you,
yep.
And so the question is, how can they connect? So Siemens is a giant. Is there like an email address? Is there a specific site? Who do they talk to?
So if you're interested in learning more about our Xcelerator for Startups program, there are two main ways that you can get connected. We have accelerator4startups.sisw@siemens.com. You can shoot an email, or we have our website, which is it is siemens.com/accelerator, I believe. Yeah.
There we go. Excellent.
And of course, if you're a startup or a team with an idea from a university, we have the so-called Siemens Research and Innovation Ecosystems, where we connect with universities worldwide. And there's also the chance, of course, to get in contact with us, show your approach, and then we help you try to bring you into that giant of Siemens, into the right channels, so that you find the right people who can support you on the technological level, for example, also.
Excellent. So you've told people how they can get to you. And so the next question that comes in from Chris is, what's the most important feature you look for in a startup? So once they've contacted you, what's your filter? What's your criteria? How do you decide who to continue with and who not to?
I think it's all this. It's, of course, the team itself, the personalities behind the startups, how they are passionate about the solution, their idea, how they drive it. But of course also the correlation to our Siemens business or to our products. So it has to be somehow connected, if we look on that technology partnership side, to our core technologies, and so that it has benefit also for us, of course. It has to be a win-win solution or a win-win collaboration for both. And I think there is also, if you are interested in collaborating with us in a technology partnership base, I think you can really take a look on the core technologies and filter by that. Do I have a solution which tackles one of these core technologies? And if yes, then get us and we will talk further.
Excellent. Super. So I'm going to let you decide how to answer this next question that comes in. But I'm hoping, as I am looking to hear from you three, that maybe some who are watching online would also have a similar question. I mean, Siemens is working in so many different areas. You're across multiple different industries. Are there some larger trends or some larger obstacles and challenges that you are specifically focusing on and thinking, here's the opportunity, here's where the market is going? I would ask for your top 50, but due to time, I'm going to go with like maybe top 1, 2, or maximum 3 trends or challenges that you see in the market. And I want to hear that from all of you, because the startup perspective on this is also super important.
Start.
Yeah, maybe I can also tell about my focus area. It's engineering and software development, and what I see when I talk to other customers and clients, it's definitely that artificial intelligence is rising. Okay. And I mean, it's already established in other technologies and other industries, but in the engineering world, not that much. Mm-hmm. And I'm pretty sure that it will come in the next 2 or 3 years to be a very important topic. And second one is definitely sustainability, as this is something which is happening all over the planet. And also from an engineering perspective, this is something where we can contribute to. And there are not that many software tools in the engineering world who can really cope with this issue. Okay. So I guess that we will see some startups popping up and supporting the climate in the future.
Super. Thank you so much for sharing.
I share the same views. Also, very important is, of course, sustainability. So we had it also in the morning. Plan A really brought it to the point you have to build business models linked to sustainability. I think that is also one key element where we try to, or where we are also doing it already, developing our solution in a sustainable way. And there's a lot of open challenges which we have to solve, of course. When we look often on entire value chain, they are there and they are a brownfield approach. And to get in there and make it sustainable, there's a lot of effort to do, and there we need a lot of innovative solutions also to make that happen. And I think all these kind of to bring sustainability and create that sustainable future which we all wish to have. I think their technology like AI is one important part, of course, because it helps to make it more efficient, the processes, make more resistant and so on. So I totally agree with Moritz in his views. And I think the next step is then, of course, developing these quantum neuromorphic hardware and have more power at the end to do more and use more AI than also in that kind of application. And to do that will be also a big challenge. And of course, link it to the human again. So it's nice to have AI solutions at the end, but it has to be somehow also connected with the human. It has to be trustworthy, and that's one big challenge also for everyone to do that.
Audrey, trends, challenges?
Well, I would agree with everything that has been said. Obviously, you're seeing a lot of things like robotics, AI come up. But the good thing about our pretty wide array of software solutions is that we've got something for everyone. There are so many solutions that can be made pretty much everywhere. And we've got something. So, yeah.
Excellent. I want to take a few last questions from the audience, and then we'll have a wrap-up question. All right? So Audrey, this one is, I guess you could answer it best, but what are the minimum requirements to enter the startup program, the Xcelerator for Startups?
So because we're such a large company and we have so many different software options across our Xcelerator platform, it really depends for each program. So for example, our Mindex for Startups program, anyone can join.
Anyone, like you could just have an idea?
Yeah.
On a piece of paper?
Yeah.
Not even piece of paper?
You can join. Okay. We have some of our programs that offer probably a larger suite of software that will require a little bit more. But on our website, it will say the requirements for each of our programs. Okay. So, yep, it's different for each thing that you're looking for.
Okay. What are the important ecosystems for Siemens? Sebastian, you want to take that?
I think every ecosystem is important. The business ecosystem, knowledge ecosystem, so really connecting with universities, transferring knowledge into the company, but also bringing it back into the education. So all kind of ecosystems are important, and when we look on a technological perspective, of course, these kind of data ecosystems also where we share data, where we create a lot of data, and where we see a lot of business potential, of course.
And then Moritz, the question is, what's the best way to connect as a startup?
With Siemens?
Yeah.
Just call them, I guess.
Just call them?
Yeah.
As easy as that?
As easy as that.
That's what's happened with you?
Yeah.
So pick up the phone, call them?
Or email, or whatever, and I guess those guys will write you to the right connection.
It sounds a little too easy to be true. So I guess to the online audience, try right now. If there's a phone number, call them and see what happens. And you might be in business with Siemens, which would be awesome. Final question to you guys. What piece of advice would you have to people who are watching online, who are curious to know more about R&D at Siemens or the Xcelerator program, or who are keen to hear more about ELISE and how they can also grow the way you have? So what piece of advice would you have?
So if you want to get in contact with us in regard to research and development, so that was a basic question, right? Go on the website, as you find it also in the virtual booth. There you have that for our innovative strength bottom banner where you find more information of the ecosystems, where you find information about the core technologies. And if you are part of one of these ecosystems, these are 16 worldwide, apply there, bring in your ideas and share it with us. And
super. Thank you so much. Advice from you, Audrey?
On how to get connected with our startup program, my advice is you should apply right now. Yes, on our website. You won't regret it.
Excellent. And Moritz?
Maybe from a startup's perspective, and the lessons learned that we had in the early days is listen to your customers, your future customers. I guess this was one of the key learnings that we had in the beginning.
Super important.
We put everything on technology and solutions, and we thought, well, we built up the best solution for whom? And then I guess lessons learned from us was listen to your future clients, understand them better as they do, and then come up with a solution and add value.
Absolutely. Great advice. I wish the three of you well as you meet some of our fantastic entrepreneurs that are here. We've got hundreds that have flown in and trained in and biked in to this venue. And of course, we've got the finals coming up. So online audience, stick around. I'm going to jump into a conversation with McKinsey next and the report that came out recently about some of the overarching macro trends that are happening here in Germany. So you're welcome to stick around for that. And to our Siemens crew and to ELISE, thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of stage 2. So one more time for Sebastian, Audrey, and Moritz.
Thanks.